Good afternoon, folks. I'm Chris Salisbury with Southern Motor Company, right here in Charleston, South Carolina. Please take a few moments with us as we go around our 1981 Chevrolet Corvette. Hey, Chris again. So I was down in Orlando for a couple of weeks buying cars. We're moving my daughter into her apartment right there on the Disney property for her Disney college program for 6 months. Really big deal. I'm really proud of her. I had to toss it in there. I get a phone call. Hey Chris, what's an 81 Corvette worth? I was like, send me some pictures. What particular? I was like, well, the door jams first of all. How long's the car been driving before it got there? Crank it back up. Just the basics. Does it clunk in reverse and drive when you put the car in gear? Do the headlights work? Do the power windows work? Just the basics. So after about 30 minutes of waiting for this to come back, wait for my photos to come back, this works, that works, that works. They didn't even know it had cruise until actually I got back in town and I drove it. I was like, hey, the cruise even works. So we then traded in this 1981 Chevrolet Corvette. It's a base 350, 190 horsepower motor. It's in the paint code 79 for 1981, which is simple enough as maroon metallic. Still has its factory wheels. Previous owner, not too long ago, bought polysteel radial Goodyears. I think they're from Coker. They weren't cheap, but they're period correct. They look correct. Actually drives okay. I mean, I've done about 65, 70 miles an hour and there's no shaking in the front end and it's holding up. The reason I say that is a lot of replica tires are really just for show. They're not really meant to be traveled on. I've had some AC Cobra cars, some kit cars, some CSX cars, and you get these big fat Goodyears on the sidewalls and you know, they're for show purposes only. They say you're not supposed to go over 45 miles an hour. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. So walk with me, Chad. So I got in the jams. The guys got me photos of jams. A lot of what happens is people will leave their seat belt loose and it'll jam in there and ship it up and nick it up, all right? I had them walk down the body of the car and look straight, get a profile. I'm looking to see how much body work this car has ever had. This car is extremely nice. It's very straight. Most Corvettes, they're like this. And even that's okay and acceptable. A lot of them were that way when they were brand new. This car is in exceptional body line condition. Got two little humps back here, which is kind of normal. These are polyurethane, a plastic rubber, it's polyurethane. And they'll warp just right there and right there. Some I've seen really bad. This one's actually pretty straight actually. Get a good profile of this, Chad. A little hump there and a little hump right there. Gas cap, nice detail work. So what I'm guessing is, I would say 10 years ago or older, or longer if you will, this had a repaint. Most of these age has had a repaint. They took the mirrors off, they took moldings off. Anything that you can separate to not have a paint line and to have a longer lasting paint job to where you don't have flakes and things of that nature, that was performed. You see a lot of cars where they'll just come up here and paint this and there's a little overspray right here and you can't get the tape line correct, and that's fine. That works for an inexpensive paint job. But it looks like all these moldings were popped off as they should have been. The trims were popped off all along the door handles. I laid a pinstripe on the car. I polished the wheels. I did most of the basics of the detail. Overall, the car was in pretty darn nice shape when we received the vehicle. Under the hood, looks pretty factory. Now, I've compared this to some others. I don't think that's the factory air cover setup, air cleaner setup, but it might be because I've seen some older ones that were that way as well. It looked okay. I left it that way. Heat works, AC works, cranks up on a dime, steers as it should. Like I said, I did about 70, 74 miles an hour a couple days ago. It just tracks nice, it handles nice. You stop, it doesn't wander on you. I actually took my hands off the pedal, or my hands off the steering wheel. hit the brakes a couple times, looking to see if it'll wander. Let me know if I have a caliper bad in one spot or the other. Hey Chad, can you get on this dash?
Yeah.
This dash is virtually perfect. A little bit of warpage, just a little bit right here, where this piece for the speaker cover has been kind of inserted here for many years. If it's a reproduction or it's been redone, it's great work. It's a 75,000 mile car. The only couple items I can see that have been replaced, and I'm guessing the carpet's been redone, because there's just no way this carpet should be this nice for this age. It looks to have been replaced. There's just no fadage. Now, I would expect this to, I don't think these panels here have been replaced. I think these are original, because they got a little bit of pullage right here. And I mean, it might be original carpet and I'm wrong. It happens, you know, but with the wear of the door panels and the switches and the buttons and the handles, I think the door panels are original. Steering wheel's original, your center console's original. I actually took a silver Sharpie right along here, just because most of the time this is all worn off and all you have is the black plastic color. So I took my time and took a Sharpie to the, oh, hold on. There we go. Took a silver Sharpie and just touched up this little area right along here. I didn't touch along here, I let that be. This is a glass T-tops car. I'll get back to that later. We'll actually take the tops off so you guys can see how they come off. For those of you that don't know, most people do. The wipers work. Wipers almost never work in these that I've had. I've always had to put a whole new unit and a switch if you can find them. Seats go down, storage in the back. That could look a little bit better if we tighten it up. Actually, you put your T-tops, let me sort this out a little better. Take your T-tops, lock them in place back there, and you tighten the system down and you strap them into that place right there. So that's what keep your T-tops in place. We do have the T-top bags as well. They're at the workshop. More on that later. So most of the time we have an interior guy who comes out and he'll touch up our leather seats. Vinyl too as well if you have a spot here or there. Now a lot of these seats were vinyl as well. Same pattern, look the same, but they also come in vinyl. But if you look closely, you'll see all the creases and the little fine cracks. They're not, it's not bad spots, but they're just, worn spots from time. These are the original seats that came in the car. This is still the original silver color. I didn't want to touch that. I wanted to have that little bit of worn look to it. The sides aren't so bad, but mostly your seating surfaces have that wear. You can see up here where the original silver is. There's no wear on it at all. I elected to leave them not colored to give some sort of originality to the interior. So from as far as I can tell, the car's been repainted, and my estimate, or guesstimate if you will, the carpets have been replaced. But then as I sit and look more towards the back and the front, maybe they haven't been. Now you have the rubber kicking area. See the skid guarding, I guess if you will, down here. It's just, your foot would go here, it keeps them rubbing a hole in the carpet, right? Well, this looks almost new. Now I did have floor mats on top of it when we received the vehicle, and it comes with them. I just didn't like the floor mats in the car. It may be original carpeting. I doubt it. It's 40 years old, So all I can tell you is I know that the car has been repainted. I think the carpet has been replaced. The panels are original. The seats are original. The dash is original. Center console, all of that stuff. So it seems to have been a very well cared for car. Heck, I've had a hard time really finding any real imperfections on all the glass work. Most of the time, you'd have a nick or a chip or a crack or even that type of stuff where the sun hits it and you see speckles, almost like sand pit marks. When the windows are fast, look how clear these are. It's just good clear glass. All the wear spots where there's little guides that sit in here, little guides, and that keeps it propped up one way or the other. Those guides will actually leave a scratch mark. There should be some felt in there that kind of help guides them. Both sides are just as clean. Windows are nice and fast. Now the vehicle's radio is aftermarket. It is a Pioneer CD system. It's got a remote in the glove box. Antenna does work when you turn the radio on. Antenna does work. Headlights work as they should. Brake lights, parking lights, all turn signals work as they should. Cruise control works just fine. Above 40 miles an hour, engages just fine. Power locks work. Power locks never work. They didn't work when they were brand new. And they work on this car. Let me show folks how the T-tops, because I'm kind of running out of stuff to talk about. So, all right, so under here is a lever. Pull that lever, pop it up just a hair, break it loose, slides out, just like that. Now these are new and rubber, so now I'm gonna guess these came with the car when it was new. That I don't know, if factory glass was original or just smoked. These are in ridiculously nice shape. They do show a little bit of wear on the edge right here, where the painted surface, it's just a little, like I might get flake some paint if I tried. So these might have come with the car when the car was new. This is my favorite look for the Corvette T-tops. This is how my 75 of the house is. The T-tops, how many times have you seen my T-tops on my Corvette?
Never.
Ever?
Yeah.
How long have they been in the garage? At the shop?
At least 2-3 years.
Yeah, they don't move. This is the best look for a T-top Corvette is this right here. Now this car's got a silver interior, so it really makes it pop. Now folks, the pinstripes, I just installed them 3 or 4 days ago. They're vinyl. If you don't like them, they peel off easy. They peel off very easy. I took 800 grit scuff pad onto the wheels. I then took 3000 grit onto the wheels. Then I used 5000 grit on the wheels. Then I used my Powerball and went over them. I didn't want them too perfectly shiny. I want them just enough to where they're manageable. If they're too shiny, you see every nook and cranny. So if you want to polish them more, I'll show you my technique if you want to give them a little shinier. If you go on YouTube, you'll find something there as well. But they look clean and factory now. If you can, show them a few little nicks and chips that are on it. You know, it's probably got 5 or 6 of them on here, little spots. Little spot right there. You know, car's not perfect. It's an excellent shape. It's a really, really nice driver. It's a very nice driver. It's not something that you would be ashamed to take to a car show and pull up next to your buddies. You can also hop in and go down the street, go to the gas station, or my apologies, the grocery store, and put wherever little groceries hopefully you take with you in that back spot back there. Chad, come here a second. Something to note, the linkages in this door panel are spot on. A lot of these cars, the linkages will get bent, get out of whack. You gotta kind of push a certain angle, maybe push with 2 hands. This is so easy to use. Both sides are this way. Come on, we got one more T-top to put on. Let's take her for a quick drive. It's neat to hop in a vehicle that's 40 years old that we haven't had to do a whole lot to. The previous owner, you know, just took care of their car, maintained it, probably used it often to, you know, not, you know, let something sit up for a while. Next thing you know, windows don't work. Our windows work, you know, both sides. Look at this now, even the power mirrors. You see me moving my hand there? Yeah, they're powered, my hand power. Blinkers work, turn signals, tail lights work as they should. Actually, the handle's okay. These weren't like the absolute best handling cars for today's standards, but for the time, it's a neat car. I mean, to me, it's a neat car. This is a real Corvette. Yeah, I like the Corvette I pulled up in earlier, but this is a real Corvette. Little clanky, lots of fiberglass. Big flares, big huge fenders, you know, swooping lines. I mean, it's just a neat car. I love my 75. I might even go home today and pull my 75 out the garage. Something about my store. If you see a car online, it's a car that, a car like this. We care about all of our cars, but if you see a car like this on our website, it's a car that I've probably got no less than 5 or 6 hours of detailing, cleaning, wiping down, driving around, moving around, listening to stuff, seeing what I would want fixed, or I guess I always tell my guys, like when Chad right here is doing photos, look for what a customer is going to be looking for. We're in the car business, and we'll let some things slide because, like on our personal cars, or something we see, we'll get back to it, not a big deal. But on a car for a customer, especially an older vehicle, we look over everything, and we drive it, and we spend some time critiquing our photos once we've taken a photo. Hey, did we miss something in that shot that they could have maybe seen the imperfection of, or get the imperfection fixed? You're sitting at home wanting to give us your hard-earned money. Here goes my spiel again. You best believe we have driven this car. We've checked it out the best of our ability. And I have a lot of ability, by the way. But we spent time with the car. So when you get home, you're not fiddle-frapping with the car. You're jumping in it, cranking it, and going somewhere. You want to show your friends, not showing your friends the car you bought that doesn't run. Go ahead, show the video going forward. Look at my hands, look at my hands. Didn't wander one bit. Car's off. Back up again. Folks, thanks for taking your time today with us. Please, if you have any questions, reach out. Our number is 843-277-2983. For immediate assistance and texting, 843-557-2784. And please reach out to us as well at www.smccharleston.com. Appreciate your time.